Amanda, where do you think you're at? Girl, this is a reality television show. If the word wimp is problematic for you, then baby, you are on the wrong platform. You might need to manifest your ass some other place.
Welcome to the Asia Esterak Hour, where film meets conspiracy and pop culture gets a reality check. From sharp recaps to sci-fi theories and media deep dives, Asia Esterak serves it unfiltered. Let the binge begin.
All right. Welcome back to the Asia Esterak Hour. I'm Asia Esterak. All right. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 15, Episode 9. This girl, Amanda, I can't do her. I can't do her. I can no longer stomach her. She's too much. The entitlement is off the chain. Anyway, so we open with like a montage of the friendship timeline between Kyle and Dorit. This storyline is just getting more ridiculous each week. Kyle, I don't even know who you are anymore. But anyway, girl. So we go over their timeline of when they first met. Dorit's been on this show a minute now. So she came on in 2017. And it's funny because I forgot that Kyle and Dorit became fast friends, and that actually upset Lisa Vanderpump. So it's crazy to watch their relationship decline. It's sad, actually. And it's crazy because they're both going through the same thing right now, and they couldn't be further apart if they tried, which is sad. You know what I mean? But anyway, so that montage was eye-opening, and definitely gave credence to why things are the way they are right now. But anyway, so the opening scene is Rachel Zoe. Thank you for putting her on the show. That's my girl. Can we just get the Rachel Zoe project? Can we just get a new one? I could watch Rachel Zoe pick out clothes, talk about designers all day long. I love her. She has great energy. She brings great commentary to the show. She be calling the girls out, and she does it in such a great way where it doesn't cause conflict. I'm like, girl, how you figure that out? But who knows? You know what? Maybe next season, they might come for her. Who knows? But anyway, I love Rachel Zoe. So Rachel Zoe is planning a quick little trip to the Hamptons, and she invites Dorit and Kyle. So she FaceTimes Dorit, and of course Dorit's like super excited to go because, Dorit is going through hell right now. And she does tell her, I am bringing Kyle. I hope that's okay. And Dorit's like, I'm not going to let anything mess up my weekend. I'm trying to have fun. She FaceTimes Kyle, basically says the same thing. Kyle's down. Kyle's like, I'm just trying to have fun too. Blase, blase. Okay, cool. She only invites those two. I believe, was it? Yeah, it was just them. So, wait, was Sutton there? No, she wasn't. No, Sutton was not there because Sutton got Amanda together at the end. Sutton is growing on me this season. I can't believe I'm saying that. She's a lot, but for some reason this season, I don't know. I just think Sutton, she just visually looks amazing this season. I like to point out when the ladies look good. She looks great this season. Erica Jane looks great this season. Anyway, and Bose always looks good though. Bose had me cackling this entire episode. Anyway, so this was a good episode. It's sad that we're 9 episodes in, and I was actually excited about this episode. I watched it late, but I'm gonna try to bring my reviews a little sooner. My mom's giving me her YouTube TV login, so get a little live action. Anyway, Peacock releasing that shit at 6:15 a.m. the next day, fucking up my time. Anyway, so we go to Amanda's house. So Amanda is planning a manifestation moment dinner party. They do a montage of her. Oh, this is a moment. You're a moment. That's a moment. I need a moment. She's so corny. I don't know who's worser. I'm gonna just say it. I don't know who's a worser. No, that's not a word. Addition to Housewives, Amanda or Angel on Potomac. These two are giving dust and irritation. But anyway, so Amanda's at her house, getting ready for this dinner party. She's She's going over everything with her assistant. Did y'all catch the assistant's face in this scene? I used to be a personal assistant. It's amazing how you just kind of have to go along with your boss's bullshit, even if you think it's dumb. I felt like the assistant was like, yeah, oh, that's great. Okay, girl, yeah. So she's making gift bags for the ladies with these journal entries. I guess she wants the ladies to journal, grown ass women journaling at a fucking dinner party. At a dinner, no, I'm sorry, at a day lunch party. I mean, it doesn't sound ridiculous, but in this instance, it was ridiculous. It was silly. But anyway, I understood her intentions, but it's like, girl, bye. The problem with Amanda, I feel, is she's fucking pretentious as fuck. And it seems like she talks down to people. Like, girl, this isn't one of your little online training classes. Who the fuck are you addressing like that? She has a way of speaking to people which is gross. And what's interesting is her husband, I find him fine. That's a fine man. And you could tell he loves her. He'd probably drink her bathwater. I don't like the way she talks to him. But if he likes it, I guess we all got to love it, right? I don't know. I'm like, Amanda. And Amanda, there's just this cloud of mystery around you. I feel like we're going to learn more about you later on. It's giving, I shouldn't have joined a reality show because all my shit's about to come out the closet. And I'm telling you, my spidey senses are tingling, and they're tingling to fraud and allegations. That's what they're tingling to. I hope I'm wrong. But based off of Housewives timeline and history, I'm probably not wrong. Anyway, so she's basically telling her assistant that she wants the ladies to get to know her better, and she wants to take the time to show them who she is and what she does for a living, and she wants them to manifest. And what she said, I want them to live their best lives. My thing is, you keep talking about manifesting and teaching people how to manifest. I haven't seen that yet. How do you teach someone how to manifest? You just tell them every day, you just think about what you really want. You write it down. Because I know about that. I have intentions that I've written down. In the back of my cell phone case right now are all the goals that I want for 2026. I'm big on writing down my goals. And I'm also big as I've gotten older. If I can't figure some shit out, I do a pro and con list. It is elementary as that is, it works for me. I suggest you try it out. I'm indecisive, so sometimes I gotta look at all the facts and figure out and then make my decision. I could get with Amanda on that, but I just feel like to say that you're a master manifester and you haven't even explained how you do that, it's I understand we're dealing in the metaphysical, but girl, none of this shit makes sense coming from you. It just doesn't make sense. And even at the dinner, nothing was accomplished. Now we did end at the dinner, but I'm like, I have yet to see how you make your money. But okay, whatever. Anyway, it was just funny watching her assistant be like, yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah. Oh, God bless all the personal assistants and all the bullshit you have to deal with and the shit you have to endure and see and agree with. I don't miss doing that shit at all. Okay, so let me fix this. Let's talk about this next scene. So Dorit goes and meets Mauricio for a sit down for lunch to talk about her and PK. This was the most inappropriate meeting ever. First of all, Mauricio, why did you show up? Well, we know why you showed up. There was a fucking camera. But like, you had no business sitting down with her. Dorit, you had no business sitting down with him either. This was fucking ridiculous. I was sitting here the whole time watching it like, what was the point of this? So anyway, they sit down. First of all, let's talk about Mauricio for a minute because I'm tired of him. His whole body language and energy. Number one, you weren't coming there to be fucking objective. Let's talk about it. You were not. You clearly sided completely on with your friend's side, which makes sense. That's your homeboy, which doesn't explain why you sat down with her. You weren't there with an objective thinking. You already came there with a decision made about how you feel about how Dorit is handling the situation with PK. Right, wrong, or indifferent, you had already made up your decision. I thought that was lame. And then my thing too, Dorit, like, I don't know if you're telling the truth or not with PK. I also don't know if PK is telling the truth. It seems like some shit got lost in translation when they were talking about the kid stuff because none of that shit made sense to me. But Dorit, why would you think that sitting down with Mauricio would help shit with PK? I understand the sentiment. I understand what she thought was going to happen, but like, girl, let's be realistic. You know your husband better than anybody. So you already knew he had flipped homeboy before you even walked in the restaurant. I didn't. So they sit down and Dorit is basically like, I want you to hear my side, but I also want to hear what's being said to you. Messy boots. So Mauricio basically says, I've heard everything. PK just wants a schedule. He wants to see his children. Dorit is like, he can see the kids anytime. I've tried to sit down and do a schedule with him, and he doesn't want to do that. Everything has to be through mediation. So then Mauricio is like, well, why can't, if he's saying he wants to see the kids and you're saying it's okay to see the kids, then what's the issue here? I have to agree. Exactly. What is the issue? Somebody's lying. And I don't know who it is. It's probably PK. So Mauricio starts getting a little defensive with Dorit, and he's like, I've seen it all. I saw the text message thread, Dorit. I saw it. And she's like, he can alter that. And my thing is, anybody can alter a text message thread. You could delete some text and look like you fucking talking to yourself. So not to mention all these little apps out here where you can do all types of creative shit. Like, we live in an AI world now. You can make all types of shit up. So he was going hard for his friend. And on a side note, I respect the fact that he was going hard for his friend. My problem is you weren't even listening to her. Whether she's right or wrong, you weren't even giving her the benefit of the doubt. You was completely, well, he showed me this and I saw this and I saw the agreement in the spreadsheet for this. And she's like, wow, I haven't even seen that. That made him look really dumb. Dorit, why would you waste your time and sit down with this man and just make your shit worse? So at one point when they're going back and forth, Mauricio was pissing me off. I have it playing right now, and his face makes me want to punch it. But as they're going back and forth, Dorit says to Mauricio, she's just like, "Well, you seem like you've kind of made up your mind. You've made your decision." She kind of alludes to that, and he's like, "No." He's like, "I want you both to be happy. I want you both to have a relationship. I want you both to be able to be amicable with your kids." And she goes, I understand all of that, but the problem is with PK, he communicates the way he wants to, and I don't even know if he's clear anymore. Are you aware that he's drinking again? Mauricio says yes. This is when I knew Mauricio lost his fucking mind. He's like, well, yeah, but it's not like he's getting drunk. We'll go to lunch. He'll have like a glass of wine or two. PK is a fucking alcoholic. You cannot drink anymore, sir. You yourself sat on national TV last season and said that you were a fucking alcoholic. And you mean to tell me you are now drinking again? No, baby, no. It's, as a recovering alcoholic, I could never drink again. PK, you can never drink again. For you to admit that you were drunk most of your marriage, baby, that's not good. And it's obvious that this separation is stressing you the fuck out because you started drinking again. But for Mauricio to sit there and try to defend that and justify, well, he's not getting drunk. It doesn't matter, sir. He shouldn't be drinking. So you clearly ain't his friend. You need to go. Why are you here? This scene pissed me off. I'm mad at Dorit that she actually sat down with his ass. And I'm mad at Mauricio that you sat down with her too. And you sat down on some biased bullshit. You didn't listen to anything she had to say, even if she's right or wrong. Like, really? Dorit, you put yourself in a precarious situation with that one. And the reality too is you and Kyle ain't even vibing like that right now. So that's going to create more of a tension with you and Kyle. They talk. It was just lame and a pointless scene. And I actually think that scene hurt the situation with Dorit and PK more than it helped it, in my opinion. I mean, a little bit of progress later on in the episode, but I'm so sick of Mauricio. Can he stop showing up? Like, Anyway, so the next scene, Sutton is at home and she calls her daughter Porter. I love that her daughter's name is Porter. I love that. Her daughter's cute too. She's basically Sutton is having a bit of an identity crisis. I'm not gonna lie, to me it's small, but I can understand from her position how it's big. So I understand the emotion. Basically, she's struggling with the fact she's clearly going to drop her married name, which she should since your husband annulled the shit and acted like it didn't exist. So she's basically struggling with the fact, well, it's a bit of an identity issue. She's going to go back to being Sutton Brown. And she's talking to her daughter about it. It was funny because her daughter was like, it's okay. Like you could tell her daughter was like, eh. She obviously is emotional about it. She was crying. It was a good scene. Sutton is definitely going through a lot this season. And her crying about the name seemed trivial, but then again, I've never been married, so I don't know. But Sutton, you're gonna be all right. You'll be all right. So after that, we got Rachel Zoe getting ready for this Hamptons trip. Her picking out the caftans and the outfits. I was here for it. I could watch that shit all day long. I love clothes. So they all arrive at the airport early. It's well, first it's Kyle, and then Rachel gets there, and then of course Dorit is an hour and a half late. First, can we? I'm sidebar. These ladies, so on these shows, they have call times, right? So I'm confused how Dorit shows up late as fuck every time. If the call sheet tells me I got to be at set at 5 a.m., then I'm on set at 5 a.m. It's funny how they make exceptions for her, considering she's been late since 2017, since her first arrival on the show. But anyway, so they're at this like VIP, I guess lounge situation, waiting to fly out to the Hamptons. They were there early, like 4 something in the morning. Dorit comes in, late. Kyle and her hug, and it was funny. Kyle was like, "This is definitely awkward because we haven't spoken since the last argument, and here we are about to have this little vacation together." Oddly enough, their little vacation on this episode seemed to be going well. I guess we'll just have to wait till next week. So anyway, they get on the plane, they fly out to the Hamptons. The other ladies are now getting ready. The other ladies are getting ready to go to Amanda's dinner party. One thing I want to go back to. So one of the reasons Dorit was late was because apparently she reached out to PK about watching the kids so she could go to this Hamptons trip. And at the last minute, he wanted to do mediation with the judge for him to watch the kids. See, this is why I feel like that argument or that sit down between Mauricio and child, I forgot her name, Dorit, didn't make sense to me because somebody's lying. Because if she's calling him, asking him to watch the kids, and he's not responding, or his response to her is mediation. So she said they had an emergency meeting with him, her, and a judge for him to take the kids for the weekend. That doesn't make sense to me. So either she's not letting him see his kids, or he's just being extremely difficult. Somebody ain't telling the truth. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know who it is. I really don't. I don't know. I found that to be a strange reaction to, yeah, I'll watch the kids. And then she said he arrived an hour after the time that he said he was supposed to pick them up, which is why she was late. So she actually had a legitimate reason for being late. I don't know. There's so much to that. I don't know. Anyway, they finally get to the Hamptons. The Hamptons are gorgeous. I want to go to the Hamptons. I want to go. So they get there, nice little place that they're staying at, beautiful. And they're in the car riding over to where they're going to be staying, and they're talking about Amanda's dinner party, lunch party, and basically she didn't invite Dorit. And Dorit obviously feels some type of way. She's like, you know what? I'm done with her. I'm done. Baby, you knew you wasn't going to go no way. Here's the reality. Amanda is not going to own up to the fact that she talked about your marriage. We're going to see that later on. She's going to deny, deflect, deny. But Dorit, I think that I don't understand why you're even so concerned about her like that. She's new. Who are you, bitch? I'd have been like, this new bitch can kiss my motherfucking ass, bitch. You don't know me. Hopefully we see you next season. Hopefully not. But girl, bye. Dorit, I think getting so emotional about not going to a manifestation moment lunch party, I think you're gonna be okay, honey. I think you're gonna be okay. All it does is shows Amanda's character. She can't take accountability. She can't own her shit. And all that does is make her look bad. And you're on this whole television show representing your brand that you talk about every 5 seconds. And you're not making it look very good with your attitude and your movement, like at all. And you talking about pro female and all this shit. Well, what you did to Homegirl wasn't very nice. That wasn't very pro. Okay, so it's funny, real quick, when they're at the Hamptons, when they're in the house, they're Rachel Zoe points out that they're all divorced, and then Dorit, this is a little dick. Well, I already filed. You're the only one that didn't file, Kyle. Kyle's like, well, no, we're still separated. Shade. Okay, so back in California, Amanda's manifestation moment party is starting to come. So the lady starts showing up real quick. Let actually hold on before I get into that because I'm about to before I get into that, let's get into Bose and Erica riding over to the party. Great conversation. Really cute to hear Erica talk about the man that she's dating. It's cool to see. She seems like she's happy. Good for her. It's funny because Bose and Erica seem to be the only ones in healthy relationships on the show. But anyway, so they're riding over talking about going to this manifestation party. And of course, they start talking about Amanda's business practices. Bose brought up a great point. She was like, if she's made her money manifesting and she's teaching people how to manifest, they're paying her to teach them how to manifest money. What is their return on investment? Like, is it working? How does she do that? So Erica says, well, yeah, it's really good. It's so good that it's probably bad. Like I said, my spidey senses was tingling. Something is off with this business plan. Something, it's just it's giving scam. It really is. I hope I'm wrong. But this is the Housewives, y'all. And what's one thing we know about the Housewives? These ladies love a scam, a fraud, an allegation, baby. So who knows, right? Who knows? So anyway, we get back to her house. Why do they keep insisting putting this lady Natalie on us? She's very boring. She gives nothing, and it just seems like she's there for the cameras. I guess she's Simon Cowell's ex-wife or ex-girlfriend or whatever. She's annoying. And that one dress that she wore to the party, that shit is still irritating me however many episodes later. She gives Jill Zarin thirst energy, whereas, ooh, I'm here, I get to be seen. Ooh, I came in my Aliyah dress or whatever. I made that up. But I'm just saying, like, please stop trying to make fetch happen. Girl, Natalie, you ain't it. It's obvious that I don't know who she's a friend of. I can't remember, but like, she gets on my nerves. Anyway, I just was like, when she was the first one that walked in, I was like, why is she here? Why are you here? I mean, yeah, your dress was cute, but why are you here, girl? You bring nothing. You add nothing. I hate when they get friends of the show who clearly are auditioning because they want to be on the season. It's just annoying because she's obviously auditioning, and I wouldn't hire her based off of her performance. She's irritating. Anyway, so the rest of the ladies get there. They finally get to the dinner party. Kathy's there, Sutton, Natalie, Bose, and Erica. So they all sit down. It was funny though. So when Erica and Bose walk up, Amanda had Money Queen and Company welcome mat that was slightly crooked in front of her door. I fell out when Sutton was trying to fix it. Kathy trying to walk in the door had me rolling. Kathy, you're slowly growing on me. Even though you use that word I don't like, you are slowly growing on me just a little bit. Anyway, but it was funny. Bose was like, oh, Money Queen and Company mat. Very nouveau riche. I am here. I have arrived. I was cracking up. So they all come in and it was funny. They sit down and they're like, where's Dorit? And they're like, oh, she's in the Hamptons. So Erica in her confessional was like, why am I not in the Hamptons? Why did Dorit get to go but not me? I'm here at the manifestation moment party. And it was funny because Bose was like, oh, see, the universe took care of it. And she's like, yeah, I didn't have to invite her. She was already busy. You weren't going to invite her, no way, because you can't take the heat. So anyway, back at the Hamptons, they're all having dinner at this restaurant. This was a cool scene because Donna Karen, y'all, I've never seen what Donna Karen looks like. Donna Karen was at the restaurant. Rachel Zoe goes over and hugs her. That was kind of cool. Donna Karen comes over and says hi to the ladies. It's just wild because it's funny. Like, you think you've been wearing some of these people and you don't even know what they look like. I'm not a big label person, but I was like, oh shit, that's Donna. My mother used to wear Donna Karen, even Donna Karen, New York. I think I had a pair of shoes at one point in high school. I'm geeking over that. That's ridiculous. But anyway, I thought that was kind of cool. So she leaves, they chat with her, she leaves. So they start talking about the sit down with Dorit and Mauricio. So, of course, Kyle asked her, and Dorit kept it real. Dorit was like, it felt like he was reading from a script, like he had his mind made up, like he was set on what he already thought, which I totally agree. Listen, if you watched it and you didn't feel that, write that in the comments. I would be curious to know why. Like, what was your perspective? Because that's what I got. You can tell Kyle wants to argue, but she doesn't. The thing is, and this is where my issue with Kyle comes in, and this is why what Erica told you, 3-4 episodes ago, you need to stay out of it. You need to stay out of it. I don't know. I think Kyle wanted to say a whole lot more. So anyway, meanwhile, back at the Honeycomb Hideout, no. So back at the manifestation party, so they're now opening up their gift bags and pulling out their journals. They're gonna do a little manifesting. Bose had me dying. Bose was like, "Oh, we're already doing it. This is like sex with no foreplay. We just getting right into it." It was funny because Sutton kept looking at her, laughing. It is funny because Erica's face, like, that'd have been me, like, girl, where the food at? Where is the food? Back when I drank, I'd have been like, where the mimosas at? Now it'd be, where the coffee at? I don't know. So she's telling them, they're talking about how manifestation helps her, like, achieve and visualize better. And then Kathy's like, yeah, it's good to visualize, your goals. So in Amanda's confessional, she's talking about, I am a living, breathing proof that manifestation is a real thing. I set the life that I wanted for myself and I got it. I agree with that. It's about setting your intentions. But I also believe that when you're manifesting, you also have to do the work towards what you're manifesting for. So I can't sit here all day and talk about how I want to be really big on YouTube and be known as somebody that reviews stuff, but I just sit on my couch and don't review shit. I just think about it. It just feels like that's what she's preaching. That's the vibe that I'm getting, because I feel like you haven't taught us shit. Girl, you told these ladies to write down. So she tells them, what's one thing you would want, one thing you would want right now. So she asked Erica. Erica says financial freedom, which basically all the ladies co-sign. I agree with that. Who wouldn't want financial freedom? It allows you to do whatever the fuck you want. Well, within reason. Unless you're part of the elites where you're eating babies and shit. Don't even get me started. I had to take a break from the Epstein files. Oop, I should have said that name in this. But anyway, I might cut that out. I don't know. But so she's talking about this and she's like, it got me the life that I wanted. This motherfucker goes, when I was a little girl, I had a Barbie dream house. And I'm going to cry. And Barbie had a 3-bedroom house that overlooked the ocean. And now I have a 3-bedroom house that overlooks the ocean. And they're showing like a shot of her on her balcony looking at the ocean. And there's a picture of her. Listen, I love all of that. I think that's all great. It's the way you're presenting it. It's very pretentious. It doesn't come off nice. Maybe nice isn't the right word. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It comes off inauthentic and pretentious and gross. And it's like, girl, it doesn't make me like you. Listen, I love that you manifested something and you got it. You set a goal, you executed, you achieved your goal. That's all great. I think it's the fact that you're using the word manifesting that is throwing people off, because that shit is throwing me off, because we on episode 9, child. We have yet to understand how you manifested all this money. How did you become the money queen? So anyway, back in the scene, they mentioned Dorit again and talk about her not coming. And Sutton kind of jumps in, and Sutton's like, so basically she says Amanda says she didn't invite Dorit because she just didn't think it would be necessary. Like, they need to talk separately. And Sutton and kind of everybody else is like, it wasn't even that big of a deal. You could have easily fixed that. And Sutton's like, you know how you could fix this? And Amanda's like, how? And Sutton's like, you need to own it. The problem is you were talking about her marriage. You were. And then you denied it. You threw it all on Kyle. Like, it was like Kyle was the one that brought it up, but it was you. And so, of course, Amanda doesn't agree with that. And then Amanda's like, well, I don't agree with the circumstances of that. And of course, Bose is like, well, what do you mean by that? And she's like, I just didn't think that this situation was going to get as big as it was. And they were like, well, we agree, but the problem is you're not owning it. So Sutton starts schooling her, and she said, listen, if you're going to be in this group, one thing you have to do in this group is you have to take accountability. The reality is you spoke about someone's marriage. You didn't think it was that big of a deal, but talking on somebody's marriage kind of is something. It is a big deal. Let's keep it real. It's a big deal on all these shows. It would be a big deal in real life. You know, Amanda's not seeing that, obviously. So in her confessional, she's like, I don't understand, Sutton. You're telling me to fix something that ultimately you started because you went back and said what I said. She didn't say it like that, but I'm paraphrasing. Amanda, you said the shit, though. You sat in Kathy Hilton's house at that table and talked about your concern for Dorit talking about her marriage and how that might come back to bite her. I agree with you on that, because I kind of thought the same thing too. But the fact that you're not owning that and you're trying to pass it off on to Kyle is lame. I thought this was weird, though, that Sutton was trying to blame Amanda for the tension between, for reigniting the tension between Dorit and Kyle. She did kind of reignite it, but let's keep it real. The tension never went away. It was always there. I think Amanda didn't help the relationship between Dorit and Kyle, but she didn't start all of that. So Sutton, you might want to slow your roll on that one, because they were already beefing. That absolutely did not help, but I don't think it reignited anything. You can't reignite something that was already ignited. Just saying. So back at the Hamptons, one of the women at the table, a friend of Rachel's, is asking how long Dorit was married to PK, and Dorit says, we were married 10 years, we were together 14. So Kyle asked about how she even got there tonight, because she was like, you guys don't have an official like custody agreement, so how were you able to come to the Hamptons? So she tells them that they had an emergency mediation and he agreed to take the kids. And of course they all are like, what? Like, emergency mediation? That's when she talks about it's him, her, and the judge. She starts talking about a lot of stuff. So we go into Dorit's confessional, where she talks about how and we knew this, once they got on this show, PK started becoming obsessed with his image. And she said that became a problem in their marriage as well. I think if a marriage is already having issues and then you come to a reality television show, all those issues are going to get amplified times 10. We all have seen it a million times over. So the fact that they're here right now is not that surprising. It's unfortunate. And I feel mostly bad for their kids, because they're young and they're going to remember this shit forever, and it's going to affect them, and it sucks. But Dorit's whole thing is, I want us to be cool. She wants her and PK to be cool. She wants to have a custody agreement, and she wants to get through it. She also talks about how he's kept a lot of information for her. I found this next bit very interesting. So she starts telling she's telling in the confessional that she doesn't have access to any of the financial statements or filings. So she really has no idea how much money is in the bank. She's like, it could be $1. It could be $20 million. I don't know. Because all the stuff that she has is redacted. Which brings my next question. Dorit, who's paying all your bills? I know you make a pretty coin. I know you make a good coin off it. You've been on the show since 2017. You're making a little bit of change now. But and of course, next week they allude to her spending way too much money. I'm just curious. I'm like, are you spending his money? And maybe that's why he's so pissed off at you and is doing all of this. I just feel like we're not getting all the information. And here's my thing. If you're going to be on a reality show and you're going to talk about this shit, give all the information. Ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. You either give it all to us or don't tell us shit. Because now we're in a gray area of speculation. And for me, it's giving you don't have money like that and you're spending. It's definitely giving that she's spending his money. That's just the vibe that I get. And if that's that to me tracks with why he's coming at her the way that he is. The fact that he won't even have a regular conversation with her, that he would rather have an emergency meeting with her and a judge, a third party, to me speaks volumes. Speaks volumes. Anyway, so back at the manifestation moment party, so Sutton is still talking to Amanda about her approach with Dorit and the whole deflecting and throwing everything on Kyle. And so Sutton says again, the problem is you did not own it. You're not owning it. And Amanda, my whole intention was to come there and clear that up. I didn't think it was going to be an issue. And Bose is like, yeah, but you kept Kyle. It was always Kyle's name. And Sutton's like, yeah, you kept putting it off on Kyle. And then this one says, well, I was upset. I was upset over my son dying. And they're all just like, and see, that is a problem, Amanda, because you are weaponizing your child's death against these women. You are full of shit. And fuck you for doing that. That shit is not okay. That's gross. That's really gross. So you're using the fact of your son's passing to get out of accountability for the fact that you were talking about this woman's husband. And now you want to put it off onto the next one. And sidebar, Kyle, this is why you need to stop being friends with strays. To quote Kenya Moore, you're always friends with strays when it comes to your real friends. And then you side with the stray. And then you end up assed out alone on the balcony by yourself. The fact that she is continuing to kind of push it off on you speaks volumes. But okay, girl. So Amanda is listening to this, and of course she's her fucking. And Bose is like, you kept saying Kyle. It was Kyle. You weren't owning it. And she is really doubling down on she didn't do anything wrong. So Sutton, of course, is like, this is where you kind of have to grow up a little bit. And she's like, you can't be in this group talking about people's relationships and think that it's not going to get back to them. And you're just going to walk around and not own it, not say anything. Like, you need to own it. I talked about it. I'm sorry. Simple as that. I'm sorry. I talked about your situation. It was funny. Rachel Zoe said that in the last episode and in the last scene. Rachel Zoe is a sounding board of truth here. Low-key, Erica Jane kind of is too, except when it comes to her shit. Well, but she be pointing out shit too. They don't necessarily always agree with her. But I just find it funny that Rachel Zoe is pointing out a lot of obvious stuff, and she's not getting the shit that she would normally get from it if it was anybody else. If she stays, again, given enough time, they'll get mad at her. But anyway, so again, back at the dinner party, Bose tells her, I've broken this up a little bit, but Bose tells her, like, you kept saying Kyle's name to get the heat off yourself. And Sutton, and of course she's like, that was not my intention. My intentions, and Erica interrupts her, the road to hell was paved with good intentions. Like, you can, and so Sutton's like, you got to stop being a wimp. Amanda, you're in my home. Don't call me a wimp. So all the ladies are looking at her like, and so Erica in her confessional is like, if being a wimp is problematic for you, you're going to have a hard time in this group. So they're all looking at her like, and Sutton goes, well, you know what? I guess I'm just going to sit here and eat my salad, and just stops talking. Because I would have done the same thing. Like, you know what? This bitch is crazy. She's not going to take accountability. She's going to sit here and argue. And the reality is I can't drag her because I'm in her house right now. So I'm going to eat my salad, take my little manifestation journal, and fuck off home. Because this bitch don't know what she's doing. The episode ends there. Next week's going to be great because they're all going to Italy. Well, I don't know if they're going to Italy next week, but that's going to be the next trip. Um, Amanda, you don't need to be on this show. This is not for you. The word wimp was problematic, and I'm realizing that you're trying to play the reality TV game the way you want to, and that's not how this works. I don't think this is the right show for you, and I feel like if you stay on this show any longer, them skeletons gonna come busting, flying out the closet, magician style, just out the closet. Anyway, this to me was the first actual good episode. Like, I enjoyed this episode from beginning to end. Really good. I feel like we finally got somewhere. It only took 9 episodes, guys. Anyway, happy Saturday. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Hey. It's almost 50 degrees in Maryland today. I think I might go outside and tan. It's been so damn cold. Anyway, be nice to each other. Stay hydrated. Stay warm. And I'm going to go return these videotapes. Wrong way.